tackling the whole taking control of your health journey and sharing my individual story was just understanding that it came about through a series of events over a period of time. So there were some questions with regards to whether I follow an eating plan or an exercise plan, and the answers are yes and no. So I don't want to confuse the situation, but it is a story as well. So just wanting to encourage that it is about us identifying what is already within us. What is it that already works well with regards to how we view exercise? How do we view movement? It's not always just exercise in a set perceived way that we see it, but how do we see movement, and how do we incorporate movement into our everyday life? Also, how do we view eating and health with regards to more than just eating? So health with regards to diet is more than just what we put in our mouth to eat. It's what do you already know about diet and what works well for you already. And those two things are very important to own and realize. How do I construct a sustainable journey for myself to get to a vision of holistic health with regards to my spirit, my soul, and my body? And that is like a method one can use to figure out in every area where there is a challenge. So the whole understanding process and taking responsibility for what you already have and letting go what you don't, understanding what you want, and then knowing what do I need to control and own in order to help myself get there. So that is the big part of creating a vision for our health, and then looking inside like a yard almost. What is inside my yard already that I do have? What is there that I shouldn't have there, that's unhealthy for me, and how can I let go of that? And also, what is there that I want to be there? Like, for instance, I have roses in my garden which I didn't plant, which I didn't necessarily want, so it's something I want out. Or weeds, that's obvious things that I don't want in my yard, so I need to do some things I need to take responsibility for and do some actions and take control over that yard to get rid of that. But also, if I desire, for instance, daisies in my yard or a fruit tree, that means I need to plant those. I need to understand, in other words, I need to become aware of what it is that I want, know how. So to take control of that, in other words, manage that awareness in order to go and get that, in order to plant it, cultivate it, i.e. discipline, for it to become a habit, to give it water and plant food in order for it to become a sustainable plant that flourishes in your garden. So that's how I view it. So the short answer of do I have an eating plan is no. And the short answer of do I have an exercise plan is no. It does not mean there is no structure. It also just means that we need to also understand what functions well within us. So for some people, having some form of a structure works better. So that means that if that is you, that is what you need to own. So you need to take control of the fact that what will support my sustainability in my health is actually to have a plan, to have some form of structure that helps me get into a routine and a rhythm that I can stick to, that makes sense to me. And that is what you then need to do. So that's my short answer.